From the shores of struggle to the waves of prosperity. It began with a dream. June 1st, 1963, freedom at last. Kenya claimed her place among the free. Our heroes, they marched, bled, and fell so we could rise. The dawn of self-rule. A people once shackled by colonial chains finally charted their own destiny. The cries of our warriors echoed in our valleys, the speeches of our founding fathers Harambe! Still burn in our hearts. And the flag, oh that flag, rose high over Uhuru Gardens, never to be lowered again.
I believe that one day Kenya will be governed by a democratic government, representative and elected by the people. And by the people, I include anybody who decides to make Kenya his home.
Our society has now been cemented into nationhood.
We do understand and realize the fears of the European minorities in Kenya.
They were giants, men who gave us voice, vision, and purpose. Today, we walk in their shadows, but our path is lit by their sacrifices. "62 years later, their dream docks ashore in Homa Bay. A county once whispered in the shadows now roars into history. Welcome to Homa Bay County, where the waters of Lake Victoria kiss the soil of dreams, a land rich in culture, history, and promise. A county chosen to host the 2025 Madaraka Day celebrations. Under a bold theme, the blue economy. From chains of colonialism to the roar of freedom, Madaraka was born. Decades later, our spirit has not wavered. We dared to dream. And now we build. In the heart of Homa Bay, the future floats on water, innovation, sustainability, opportunity. This Madaraka Day, we honor the journey. We celebrate the gains. We sail into a future that's blue. A county reborn, from the colonial outpost once known as a fishing hub to a regional powerhouse of progress. The people of Homa Bay are ready to tell their story to the nation.
Visitors wageni karibuni, welcome machiegni Homa Bay dala piny moponge mbuta ngege recho mumi, welcome wageni miadhum. Achakwera tingo thumatero Homa Bay warwako welo duto. Kenya madonjo Homa Bay.
Onyango ke saka ke ginyambo kendo ke goreje ke gindinya parini ala mogaya makoangyo parini ara mogani mak onyango ke saka parini ara je karo gengo wangyo parini ara ngani gengo wangyo Da parichieng ni da warao. Obelo da parichieng ni da warao. Wagaya da parichieng da.
Homa Bay County derived its name from two variables, one of which is geography, and also one of which is also a case of mispronunciation.
Mokwongo ni iluonge Nasego. Ne Nasego kanyo waindi ne nitie mane tiyo chon mane okwongo bedo kanyo. Koro ne Nasego. Koro kane wasungu neno gima digitim. Koro ka ging'iyo to gikoni kaeni onego bed mana Homa Bay. Kendo ging'iyo got wire, got Homa, ging'iyo got mamwalo cha. Alkati koro ne gichake ni ma Homa Bay.
Originally, Homa Bay was known as Ochich Onono, which means Onuno's market. So that makes it significant because it gives you a background that Homa Bay was a trading center. Upon the arrival of the British, Homa Bay got its name. And this name was derived from two issues, as I said. The just opposite here, where we are, is the Homa Hills in Karachuonyo. And also where we are situated here is the bay. So basically, Homa Bay was derived from the name Homa. Homa is a local name for the Homa Hills in Karachuonyo. But then when the British came in, because of mispronunciation, it was now pronounced as Homa. So the name now that this town derived was then given the name Homa Bay. So literally means this is a bay overlooking the Homa Hills.
We've come from far, a land once silent, now echoing with footsteps of progress. A nation born from the fire of resistance, standing tall in the winds of freedom. Today, as we celebrate Madaraka Day, we do more than raise the flag. We raise our voices to honor the journey, but to truly understand who we are, we must return to the beginning. Homa Bay, not just a county, but a heartbeat of history. From the sprawling South Nyanza district, where administration was once distant and dreams deferred, emerged a people's resolve. Through boundaries redrawn and systems reimagined, Homa Bay rose, shaped by the spirit of devolution and the cries for local leadership. It was not an accident, it was a demand for service, for dignity, for identity. And today, this county stands not in the shadows of its past, but in the full light of transformation. Homa Bay, the jewel of Lake Victoria, now leads with pride, purpose, and power. This is where we began. This is how far we have come. And this is the promise of Madaraka. In the 18th century, the area of present-day Homa Bay saw the first large-scale Luo migration down the Nile from eastern Uganda. Nilotic Luo-speaking clans crossed the Kavirondo-Winam Gulf of Lake Victoria and established villages along its southern shore with the economy based on fishing, cattle herding, and millet cultivation. Luo villages, Pachos, introduced new crops such as sorghum, groundnut, and simsim, supplementing traditional yams and millet. Social organization remained clan-based, with 8 sets and clan councils governing daily life. Clan chiefs managed local affairs, land, and organized defenses, while community defenses were maintained by local warriors and Osumba commanders. Spiritual life centered on ancestral belief systems, and the people revered Nyasai, the supreme being, and communicated with ancestors and spirit mediums. In the 1880s, the scramble for Africa reached Kenya, with Britain and Germany negotiating influence over East Africa. Small numbers of explorers and missionaries began to survey Nyanza province. The town of Homa Bay itself was still a seasonal trading village then called Chich Onono until 1902, when the British East Africa Company moved its inland port from Mount Elgon to Chich Onono, marking the beginning of Homa Bay's role in regional administration. In the early 1900s, the British formally organized South Kavirondo with Kisii and later Homa Bay as important administrative centers. Missionaries and Indians arrived, notably in 1906 with the Seventh-day Adventists. The 1910s brought intensified colonial administration. In 1912, South Nyanza became a distinct district, with Kisii as the administrative center and Homa Port declared a township. In 1920, Kenya became a crown colony. The first local native council for South Kavirondo covering Homa Bay was set up in 1925 and headquartered in Kisii. The 1940s brought World War II effect. South Kavirondo was an important economic asset and a base for operations against Italian East Africa. Many women from Homa Bay were recruited again for war service, and some worked on the coast, all as carriers in Burma. In 1948 to 1949, after the war, the district's name was changed from South Kavirondo to South Nyanza, with Homa Bay serving as the administrative headquarters. The 1950s were dominated by the Mau Mau emergency and nationalist agitation. In Homa Bay, the colonial-appointed Chief Ogoma was accused of fomenting unrest, and in 1952-1953, he was arrested and detained at Chulaoyoyo. Kenya gained independence in 1963. Homa Bay became the administrative center for all South Nyanza. In the 1990s, the region was redrawn again and new districts created. Homa Bay itself was split from Migori, then Suba district was carved out. Then in 2010, Kenya's new constitution gave birth to Homa Bay County, uniting the lands of Homa Bay, Rachuonyo and Suba. Today, this county carries centuries of resilience, fueled by land, water, development and generations of stories. Homa Bay isn't just a place. It's a journey still unfolding. The air is electric. They come down to Madaraka, a celebration not just of the past, but of how far we've come.
Donge wail, donge wakwe, donge wa moriyawa.
Wakenya ni siku ya furaha, twasherekea Madaraka.
PMC Production.
Homa Bay has been so fortunate that in terms of the focus and the objectives of the national government specifically, under the leadership of His Excellency President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, we've seen tremendous development opportunities that have come our way. And this development cuts across all the sectors of national development. When I look at the infrastructure front, in terms of roads development, we have a number of road networks that are currently ongoing in Homa Bay.
Madaraka tunayo ya kujenga taifa. Madaraka tunayo ya kujenga taifa. Tunajitahidi wa Kenya. Okeki mabel, mabiro mayot, watima na kinda, wager Kenya wani, watima na kinda, wager Kenya wani.
Tamaduni za Wakenya tunafurahia, mila zetu zetu twazipenda, twazihifadhiwe, tunaishi kwa upendo na amani, tukifanya kazi kuboresha Kenya. Opinywa biune Kenya mora, wahero welo Kala mora, watamengege Kisumo mora, wanyone dodo Kala mora, wagoyo tenga Kenya mora, watiyo mate Kala mora. Tunapochapa kazi mashambani mwetu, tunapochapa kazi viwandani mwetu, hata wakati wa janga taifa bado tutasimama, hata wakati wa janga taifa bado tutasimama, 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 ojende wakete Kenya echunywa wane mwanigi uwezo mkubwa.
There was a time when this place was forgotten, but the spirit of its people unyielding. They toiled, they waited, they believed. Now, the lake no longer feeds only bodies, it feeds dreams, it creates jobs, it empowers generations. Lake Victoria, the lifeblood of the region. Under President William Ruto's leadership, this water body is no longer just a source of fish. It is now a frontier of economic revolution.
This serves to exemplify the enormous investments that the national government has done.
Kenya Fisheries is an agency that is under the Department of Blue Economy and Fisheries.
Operationalization of the port began in the year 2017. We are picking very well because the cargo volume passing through the port of Kisumu is now almost 300,000 metric tons.
For the lake to survive and to thrive as a freshwater lake, it has to get good water from our rivers. So Kenya Forest Service has a main agenda is to plant trees along the riparian sides of our rivers and also to educate farmers on proper or best practices of farming by contour, planting of trees along the contours and even the right species to plant on our farms.
The promotion of maritime and shipping industry in the country of Kenya. And it is an industry that has been for a long time been overlooked, but we've made strides in this promotion in recent years.
Kenya Maritime Authority is a government agency that is charged with regulatory oversight of the maritime space. Its main instrument is the Merchant Shipping Act and other acts like the Lake Victoria Transport Act and other international agreements that we've ratified.
Our key mandate is to conserve, manage and develop the Kenya fisheries resources. Activities that we do day to day includes licensing, and for licensing we use it as a tool to control the access to the fisheries resource that we have, that is Lake Victoria. So we issue different licenses, such as a vessel fishing license, and we also offer the fisherman's license. All these are geared towards ensuring that there is control to the access of the fisheries resource.
The mandate of Kenya Forest Service is to protect the gazetted forest areas, to establish new plantations, and also to sensitize the public on tree planting activities.
Kenya Ports Authority is the body mandated by the government to manage all the jetties, all small ports around Lake Victoria. So we have got ports like Homa Bay Jetty, we have Mbeta, we have Meuru Bay, we have Asembo Bay, we have Sio Port. All those are being managed by Kenya Ports Authority as mandated by the government.
Comes to the construction of vessels in the industry, and also the empowering and training of human power in order to be able to capture the opportunities that are present in the industry. Other key mandates as a State Department entails also regulation of the industry, because this industry, if you look at statistics globally, 80% of global trade passes through the oceans and seas, through inland waterways, through seas. So basically, trade is facilitated mainly in water. This means that regulation will be key in the country being able to capture the opportunities that are there present.
Under our mandate, we ensure maritime safety of navigation. We ensure that every ship calling on our ports are compliant with the standards set. We ensure that we have a section that deals with seafarers' issues, from their training to their onboarding. We also have a section that deals with maritime trade, so they work to facilitate maritime trade within the Kenyan waters. We are also tasked with preventing maritime pollution. That's under the MAPOL Convention, which we also implement. And that deals with mostly ship-sourced pollution. So we ensure that there are no oil spills and the exhausts coming out of the ships meet the standards that are set.
From sustainable fishing to modern fish processing plants, from ecotourism to marine transport, this is the promise of the blue economy.